Straight Talk with your host Reggie B. Come on, let's all join in. Free your voice, it's your choice, alright here. Oh, Simply Straight Talk.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Simply Straight Talk show. Today, we got two very special guests because you have pretty much drove me crazy and probably drove them crazy with all of your comments. But we still love y'all, though. It's all in love. It's all in love. But today, we got Angelique Franklin and Melissa Shaw. You know them. They are the beautiful and very talented voiceover artists from the intro skits. So we are welcoming them here today to join in on the conversation.
Yo, what's up, people?
Thank you for having us.
We're in the house. We're here. We're real.
We heard y'all.
Yeah, we feel
here.
you. Yeah, it's okay.
Now, if I can make it through this without laughing, because we was cracking up before this
It's not
even
possible, Reggie.
begun.
Just give it up.
Oh, right.
Who you fooling?
I know my cheek's going to be hurting by the end of this. Y'all are funny.
Yes.
Oh, too funny. Too much too funny sometimes.
Well, a little bit joke never hurt nobody. That's what I say.
It gets you through.
It does.
You know, I feel like it gets you through some stuff. You know, if I didn't laugh through these past, I don't know, whenever this started in March, I probably would have lost my whole entire mind. So I need to laugh. Laughter is my medicine.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you guys. I lost my ever-loving mind a long time ago, so I'm just straight crazy. I'm straight crazy. So, you know, I hate to break it to you. You've let me loose, Reggie. Uh-oh.
It feels like we've been in this for like 20 years.
I know. We have been recording skips for a little while now, actually. It's really cool, actually. I've been having fun with it. I never know what you're going to send me. It's cool.
Me too. It's very exciting. I said, oh my gosh. Reggie was really like my first real gig. I just started this voiceover this year. So I said, oh my gosh, this is so great that he keeps working with me.
I'm doing okay. All right. Okay, cool.
Because you two are so easy to work with. And I'm telling you, if you only knew how many voiceover artists I went through just to get to you two.
It was meant to be,
and
Reggie.
I say that sincerely.
Aww.
It was
how
so
many was
hard.
it? Like, are we like the backup of the backup? Like, how
the
many?
backups of the backups of the backups.
No, because you know how when you like searching and you like, okay, let me try this person, let me try that person. Because, you know, it doesn't really like pop everybody up. So you kind of like just got to go down the line.
Yeah.
And some voiceover artists would just read stuff like they was a robot. Some people use automated machines.
Wow.
For real?
You mean I could use my cat this whole time and get paid?
That's what some of them are doing.
Wow.
Get out of town.
Yeah, some of them. And one lady, she read her lines like it was like a machine gun.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, being a voiceover artist is a very personal thing, trying to bring someone's kind of idea to life and capture what it is that they've got in their mind's eye. Do you know what I mean? Because some people have a specific sound or tone, and then you deliver it, and they're like, that's not it. And you're like, yeah, I'm not in your head. I don't know what you want from me. It's like version after version you deliver. So do you know what I mean? And they're like, no, not that. Can you do a bit more of this? And it's like, yeah, I don't know what you mean.
Right. That's definitely true. I've definitely learned that throughout my year, this first year. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what you want from me. So I put in there, you need to tell me what tone it is you're looking for. If you like the way I read this, you need to put that in there. Because they're like, yeah, I kind of like how you sound for this one thing. Be more specific. I don't know what you're talking about. I did a lot of one things. Okay?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, that's the other thing that I have as well. You know, I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and people go, oh, I liked that job you did so and so. Yeah, do you realize how many voiceover jobs I've done? I don't know what you're talking about. Just tell me specifically with your script what you want from me. And even then, it's open to interpretation, because someone might say, can you read it in a sexy, sensual tone? And we all have different ideas of what that means. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
You got that right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, this is essential. They're like, you sound like you've got a problem. Like you're straining. Are you okay? Well, that was my sexy voice. Thanks. Okay, cool. So you don't know. Everything's personal. Do you know what I mean? Like, is she okay? She's straining.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
But I'm glad that Reggie, you're happy with us both. Do you know what I mean? And because your scripts are funny, I feel like I get to act out an alter ego version of myself. Do you know what I mean? It's cool.
I do love it. And unfortunately, Melissa is really just how Melissa Shaw really is. She's just as crazy, and she does carry things around in her car. You know,
All right, my
if it gotta
sister.
get crazy,
Mm-hmm.
she has it.
She stays ready.
Does he
is what
know
you're
me
saying.
in real life? She stays ready. She don't never got to get ready. She already there. Okay.
Okay, do not pull up
Trying
on
to bring
Melissa.
that down a little bit. You don't want to. Nobody wants any of that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not far behind you.
I wouldn't. Oh, right now. See?
Oh my God.
He knew what he was doing when he put us together.
He knew.
Yeah, because
Oh
then
my
the next one,
gosh.
I can't say that yet. Okay.
Don't give it away now. Come
You
on.
can't start.
I have to tell y'all that afterwards. I can't say that right now. I was about to tell y'all something coming, but
Oh, you was gonna drop some
Y'all gotta
spoilers. Oh,
yeah, I almost let it slip. But
come on, man.
Wait.
yeah, I gotta wait on that one.
Hold tight.
Now I'm excited.
Oh my God, y'all got my eyes over here watering, and this is like 2 minutes in.
Focus, Reggie.
Oh my
Focus.
gosh.
Okay. You're a professional. Get your together.
All right now.
Okay, so today we want to talk to y'all about a couple things, but we want to talk about the communication between men and how men don't always reveal their feelings, and people are afraid of being vulnerable about expressing how they feel. We also want to talk about the pandemic, what's going on now. We want to talk about some of the stress and challenges that people are facing. And we want to talk about people who need help, but oftentimes they find themselves either being shamed for asking for help or made to feel guilty that either they walk away or they just kind of go without, which I don't agree with.
Yeah, no, same.
So what are some of the things you guys feel are stressful when it comes to the pandemic?
Oh, Melissa, I'll let you go first.
Well,
Just push you in that deep
a
end.
mother of 2 right now, my stress comes from this damn virtual learning.
Oh.
I hate it with a passion. I like that they want to keep these kids educated. But when I signed up to be a mom, I did not sign up to be his teacher. Okay, so it was not for me.
I just want to feed him and clothe him. That's it.
Oh my gosh, like try to teach them some things right from wrong. And then, go to school. I make sure you got your homework done. Not your homework, your classwork, your study time. Like, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. So that has definitely been stressful. And as a new voiceover actress, I'm trying to still establish, everything with my business. So this is still very new to me. So I just quit my job in the beginning of the year. I said, okay, I'm doing this full time. Things are starting to go good. I got some, nest money saved up if things go wrong. 2 weeks later, bam, pandemic, everything shut down.
Wow.
I said, oh my God.
They say if you want to hear God laugh, telling your plans,
Wait.
girl.
Oh, God, you ain't never lied. That is so
He's up
funny
there
that
laughing.
you say that. My mom, she says that all the time. Girl, talk about it. So this was definitely a challenge, trying to figure out how to maneuver and put schedules together. And then, we'll get to one phase and then certain things are open. And then, bam, 2 weeks later, everything's closed again. So it's trying to find the balance and trying to get on a schedule, a routine, because I need that. I need that structure. And without it, I'm a hot mess. I'm not getting anything done. So trying to figure that out. And then trying to potty train my baby so she's not taking her diaper off and smearing it in my carpet anymore. That's been my greatest challenge during this time.
The old carpet smearing thing, yeah.
Yeah, she's got to go.
She gotta go.
Yeah, she's got to go. I want a refund. Can I have an exchange? Can we return babies?
Right.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
like, this is not the baby
about
I
you?
asked for. Can I return this one, please? I did not read the small print.
So
I did not
done.
realize diaper smearing was going to be part of the contract.
I had one. My oldest is 7. I said, what the hell is this? She's the complete opposite from the other one. And I really just want to put her back. Not in my stomach, just, break it all the way down. Oh gosh.
I can't lie.
No.
I don't have any children, so I don't have that issue. I just have me and my cat. I think for me, what I've been contending with is more just a lot of time at home by yourself. So, trying to make sure I don't turn into Tom Hanks from Castaway. You know what I mean? Like, name a football. Wilson! Do you know what I mean? Wilson! Just making friends with a football. Do you know what I mean? That's what I've been trying to avoid. Do you know what I mean? Ending up like Will Smith in I Am Legend, talking to mannequin. I'm not trying to.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not trying to be that girl. But yeah, I think it's more just keep myself kind of on the kind of focus and saying, keeping like my sort of mind state positive. Because there's been a lot of news and scaremongering online. Do you know what I mean? And in social media. So, I mean, I don't watch the news and I don't read newspapers. I haven't for years. And I even refuse to do it even more so now because, to be honest, even if you don't watch that stuff, you go on the street and someone will update you anyway. Do you know what I mean? And
That's true.
You will. You don't literally need to watch the news because someone or someone they know will update you. And I've literally heard through the grapevine. But the problem with that is by the time I get it, it's gone through 1,000 Chinese whispers. And now I've got some weird conspiracy version. By the time it reaches me, and it's like, oh my God, the 5G masks are going to kill us all. And it's because of that we're ill. And the monkeys flew over and gave us COVID. Do you know what I mean? It's like all these random conspiracy theories. And I'm like, what the hell am I missing? Okay, I need to switch on the news. But no, it's been more that for me. And dealing with my dad, because unfortunately my 80-year-old father got sick with COVID and almost died. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, and just dealing with that and the fact that it has affected him and his memory and his overall health is not the same now as a result. So kind of processing the new him. But yeah, for me, apart from that, to be honest, it's just been those two things. I've actually really enjoyed it because it's forced me to stop and not be so distracted by other things.
Yeah.
That's what I really liked about it, actually, was that it forced me to stop. So I'm probably one of the few people that I'm like, hey, I like lockdown. It's nice. Like I said, one of the few. I get that. It is few. What about you, Reggie?
I think it's the same thing. It's more like I find myself talking to myself more. I have some really good conversations at times and, don't really resolve anything.
No.
But for me, I think it's more the traveling aspect of it because sometimes I feel stuck. Because, like, you can't really go anywhere. Then, like, a couple places we had engagement set up and it was like you couldn't rent a hotel room. There was nowhere to stay.
Yeah.
And then everybody buying up every piece of food or toilet paper they can find. As soon as they hear something they think is going to be a catastrophe, the stores are empty.
Yeah.
Yup.
It's like...
Sickening.
It is. It's annoying. And it's like up here, not everybody's trying to return toilet paper. They're trying to return paper towels. Walmart is packed 24 hours.
Really?
24 hours Walmart is packed.
They cut down my Walmart's hours. I need to come over to your state. Yeah, we're not 24 hours anymore, and we have not been the whole pandemic. Hold on.
Yeah, if you can get in there. I mean, it's like you can. It's like so hard. It'll take you like an hour just to get to a register. And Walmart, they have 30,000 people in the store, but they have 2 registers open.
Oh, that's just a universal
Doesn't make any
supermarket
sense.
rule. That's worldwide. that's not just Walmart. That's just like, it's like the conglomerates all got together and was like, let's just mess with the customers. You know what I mean? And put the slowest worker on the only other till that's not working. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what the hell?
Oh my gosh, right?
And guaranteed one is going to be cash only and only one to be debit or credit.
And
I don't
neither of those
understand.
machines work.
I just don't understand.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
It's not. Yeah, listen. I don't know. It's been crazy watching the level of panic and how people have been sort of stock buying. Do you know what I mean? For like the apocalypse that people seem to think is coming.
Yeah.
I mean, they got me acting like I'm the Black Katniss Everdeen out here. Do you know what I mean? Just Hunger Games, hunting down toilet paper. You know what I mean? Just cutting a person just so I can get a pack of toilet roll. It's just like, no, what is happening here? It's crazy.
It gets real in the stores. It brings out the real mean, crazy survival mode in people.
Yeah, it really does.
It's like Walking Dead out here. You know, I'm going to have to become like Michonne with my big old samurai stick. Do you know what I mean?
And okay.
Just saying. I will fight you for that last toilet roll.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's the problem they have in here is like couples are now, I guess they're around each other so much that couples are starting to fight more often.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you even see it in the stores. Everybody's like, you know, stress level is so short. It's like the slightest person bumps into you. Now we're going to start throwing grits and pancake batter at each other, you know.
It does get like that. You're on edge.
Yeah. You know, and if somebody looks like they're finna sneeze, everybody panics.
Oh my God. Yes, it's true. When it first hit back in February, I wanted a cough. I remember I was at a supermarket and I was going to a till and I could feel a cough building up. But I freaked out. I was like, I can't cough. I can't cough in the store. They're going to kick me out. Oh my God. And I ended up literally going blue because I was holding my breath and holding this cough in. By the time I got to the till and the guy was like, are you okay? And I'm like, so it looked worse. It looked like I had something really bad because I was like, instead of just coughing normally.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was freaking out. I was like, I can't cough. They're going to lynch me. They're all going to lynch me.
Yup. It's the worst. My son, he had jujitsu and they had opened back up back in July. And they're like, you know, we're going to keep it to a minimum, social distancing. None of the parents are allowed to come in, just the kids. And my son had a headache. He had a bad tooth. So he had an abscess, got an infection. So he had a headache. They're like, oh, he's got to go, and he cannot come back until he has clearance that he doesn't have COVID. I said, he has an abscess in his tooth.
Yeah.
He's all right. He just, you know, he's on the last day of the antibiotics, but they're like, no. They walked him out, and they were like, he can't sit here. Damn, Forrest?
No jiu-jitsu for you today. Wow.
Oh my gosh, I was sick. I said, you know what? I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah, I think everyone's getting a little bit oversensitive. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but this is what I mean.
much.
It's like, you know, they're saying that misery loves company. Well, fear loves mass hysteria, and it is contagious. Fear is very contagious. It's very real. Like, you can literally feel it and taste it in the air. You know, it's like that Phil Collins song, I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
In the air.
You can feel it. Like, you can feel the fear in people. Like, people are less kind of friendly now. People don't want to sit next to people, you know. It's
right.
You're checking everything. You're wiping everything down. I mean, listen, I don't know about you, but I just can't deal with no more hand sanitizer. My skin on my hand is just looking dry as hell. It's just not
talk about
drying out my skin. Like, I have to keep walking with hand cream and sanitizer and keep using both at the same time. It's a madness.
Right? The only way you'll be okay. Like, my hand on the back, it started to peel in the beginning of this because I was like, you know, freaking out, and it was still kind of chilly outside, so the air was already dry. I said, oh my God, what is this?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Prematurely aging my hands. I won't have it. I won't stand for it. I draw the line.
Right, they know black don't crack,
Exactly.
and they're trying to tear us down.
I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
Y'all are funny. I'm sorry, I'm a snorter.
That was a snort, listeners. That was a snort. I don't know if Reggie's going to edit it out. He might just keep it. She snorted.
Oh my goodness.
But I feel like this time is really what I feel like this time has tested people is to teach people how to be at peace with your own self, because not everyone's been able to isolate with family or friends. Some people are single like myself, and you've had to learn, one, to entertain yourself, two, how to kind of seek other ways to kind of keep your mind ticking over other than your phone and Netflix. and maybe, and it's, I don't know about you guys, but over here we've had an influx of, like, as I've dubbed them, COVID joggers, people who've all of a sudden decided, oh, I'm going to jog now. Just an influx of random people in my, because I live opposite a park, and so I've just seen a whole bunch of people just jogging round and round my park that I've never seen before, because they're just doing anything to get out of the house.
Right.
But it's good.
And I think that's the thing with a lot of people, is like they're so sick and tired of being in the house, and you can't gather with it. Well, people are gathering anyway.
Yeah.
But it's like people feel like, I don't want to be told that I can't leave my house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because it's your basic
So it's
human
like,
right? To be able to just walk anywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, I got to rebel against this because, I'm grown. I'll do what I want.
It's like, COVID can kiss my ass. Like, that's what it is.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not having it. I'm going for a walk. It's true, though. Like, happened over here. When the summer hit over here, the people were having barbecues and, like, picnics. They were like, forget it. COVID don't come in this park. That's just what I believe. Forget it. I'm going to have my barbecue.
It really was like that. Summertime, they said, to hell with COVID. I'm done with this. I'm going to do what I want. And it just, I said, oh, God, it's going to get real out here. Second wave is coming, and here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, now they're talking about a second shutdown, and
Oh, we've already had ours. Have you not had yours yet?
Yeah. No, we haven't entered it. I remember talking to you a few weeks ago, Angelique, and you said you were in your second one. And I said, oh, shit, here we go.
Yeah, over here in not so sunny London, they were like, everybody's going to go night-night, stay in your house. Just no more. Madness.
So
ours is just
the US
ended
got so
actually
much
today.
craziness. What's that?
Our second lockdown ended today. Today was the last day, actually.
Oh.
Well,
yeah, it was only for a month. I know. I'm free. I'm free at last.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah,
Well, I
we
think
didn't
we're
even have
headed
ours
to one.
yet. Exactly. It's coming.
It's coming.
Your people are mean. They made sure to do ours before Christmas. Do you know what I mean? so it's all right. Y'all can go out and go have that turkey and go visit your family. Go on then.
Oh my gosh, right? It's just definitely about to be a problem. My son's school, it's up and down. They keep opening it, then they close it.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I'm done with this. You're just staying home. Just stay home, okay?
Yeah,
we'll
it's true,
figure
though.
this out.
Yeah.
They do keep doing that with the schools here. They'll open the schools, shut the schools.
Yeah, I don't.
No,
It's
they've
like-
kept ours
Right
open
now.
since August, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah?
because, English parents will probably riot and mob the school and just force the gates open, to be honest. if they tried it. Because, they were off from school, as most people across the world were from, February. Parents couldn't hack it. They were like, no, have them back. She just turned up outside the school gates in September. No, you're going to open it. We don't want them no more. We're going to commit GBH, do you know what I mean? Grievous bodily harm if we don't give the kids back. Take the kids.
It was a lot. It was definitely a lot. And I ended up taking in one. My nephew,
my
he was
Lord.
with me, and him and my son are only 2 days apart. So, oh man, when school opened back up, I wanted to throw a party. I think I did. I went out and I got myself a bunch of food and I watched Netflix and I said, I'm not doing nothing today. I have my kid.
You sound like my type of girl. That's right. That's how you celebrate. Food and some Netflix. That's how you do it. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
This whole thing, it's like, I really feel sorry for the parents. When you're single, it's just, it's just you. But when you got
and your light bulb,
kids
Reggie.
or
Your Christmas light bulb.
Oh my gosh, I got a 1-year-old with your name on it. Take one.
Uh-huh.
they would be bored. Because my life is bored. It kind of works out for me because most of my time is on the computer, either editing something or doing something like that. But for people who really go out, I can understand how it would drive them crazy. For parents, it'll drive them crazy. The most I got to deal with is my nieces calling me on the phone, asking me what I'm doing every 10 minutes.
Oh.
They need to go back to school too.
How old? How old are they?
8 years and 10.
Oh yeah.
going on 50.
Yeah.
That sounds about
goodness.
right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
These
told me
kids
that I
grow
have
up
no
so
swag.
much.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, dang.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kids are honest like that. They'll give it. That's simply straight talk right there, Reggie.
okay.
Sorry, Uncle Reggie, you've got no swag. Hashtag just saying.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know what I mean? Just use your show name against you. Hashtag simply straight talk. My uncle has no swag. Do you know?
That's funny.
Yeah. No, I think I'm the same as you, Reggie, though. Like for me, I spend a lot of the time at home anyway. Like I do my voiceovers from home, and yeah, I spend a lot of time at home. I do have a part-time job where I work at a train station now, so that gets me out of the house, which I think is necessary because I think you can get a bit too used to your own company, and then mixing with other human beings becomes like like weird. Like, oh no, it's too much. Too many people. I'm gonna go back to my house. You don't want to become, like I said, you don't want to become like Wilson. You know what I mean? Cast Away. It's not that. So yeah, you got to have balance. You need human interaction as well as some solo, and I think that's what the people who used to distracting themselves with going out, bars, drinking, this and that. I feel like they're the ones that have struggled the most because they're used to kind of seeking a way to keep themselves entertained and distracted by outside stuff. So now that we've all been forced inside, it's like, no, I don't want to have to deal with myself. That's too much. No, I'm getting stressed now.
Right. You know, my best friend, she's just like that. Every single weekend, she's out. I mean, sometimes during the week, I'm like, oh, you're living your best life. Things shut down. I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to lose it. And she definitely went through it. Yeah, she's like, I'm by myself. You know, I don't have anything to do. And I used to go out and live my best life. And now I got to sit here and look at the TV again. It was something else.
Yeah, and I think half the problem with if you struggle with things like that, because I'm single too, and so I don't have anything to sort of like, you know, anyone to sort of talk to in that way. But what it taught me was, okay, well, what other things am I interested in? You know what I mean? Outside of movies and maybe reading my book, and it forced me to tap into creativity more. So video editing, you know, like painting by numbers, puzzles, word games. Do you know, just even sometimes just being at peace with bloody silence. Do you know what I mean? Like just being okay with that. I think people are used to distracting themselves because in that way they don't have to deal with their internal thoughts. Do you know what I mean? And themselves and insecurities and issues. And because, you know, we all have a million thoughts going around our head a mile a day, and distractions help you kind of block that out. But when you're just you, yourself, and I, you know, it's like, oh no, it's about to get real up in here. Oh no.
We definitely had to get creative over COVID in so many different ways. And you're right, like with my mom, even though I got these kids, you know, they eventually go to bed and I'm still up, and I just like, what am I going to do? Like you said, you know, you go on your phone and you see all this news. I don't watch the news either. I can't stand the news.
No.
So you go on and they send me into a panic, and I'm all worked up about something that I didn't even care about in the first place, or it wasn't that bad.
Right.
So I really had to take a step back and like look at my mental health, because I was like, girl, you all right?
Yeah.
Why are you so upset?
Yeah, you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, and I will.
Yeah,
So
exactly. You do.
It was definitely necessary. I was just like, you know, I said, I don't want to run around outside because I just didn't. I don't like the area that I live in to be, I don't know. I just don't. So
I don't go outside.
I started I go outside when I had to, not Gotta move on up sooner than later. But I just started to do yoga, but that just wasn't for me. And then
what did you not like about yoga? Out of curiosity.
I think it was just because the kids just kept popping in. And then when it's dark outside, I want to go to sleep.
Okay,
and I feel like I needed to have my full attention to yoga. So like I'm getting on the floor on that yoga mat. Next thing I know, it's been 2 hours. I was asleep. So I said, okay, this wasn't it.
Wait a minute, you went to sleep doing yoga?
I got 2 kids, Reggie.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
Sometimes 3.
Yeah, that's the problem. For you, being horizontal was not a good look.
Right. It was just, so I did different little things that I could do, trying to read books, like you were saying, trying to draw with my son. He loves to draw. So, that ended up being some kind of form of meditation type thing for me. I'm terrible, but it's relaxing. I never would have done that before. Oh gosh, it's awful. It's awful. My cat looks like something terrible out of a horror movie. So, but it was necessary to, take that step back and just leave. There's times I just don't even look at my phone. Like, when we were talking in our little group chat, I just don't have my phone sometimes. I just need that time away from it and just, relax and, like you said, be at peace with myself. Or it was this time I really needed to check that mental health. It was not where it needed to be.
I think that's the thing though, because like I said, most people day to day, if you actually sat down and asked them like, what makes you happy, or like, what is it really, taking away all phone, cars, money, house, all these things, the average person doesn't actually really know what genuinely would make them happy, or are they even happy? Do you even feel happy right now? And it's easy to become very distracted, like I said, with the phones. And I don't want to knock phones and technology, because I feel like we've made great advancements in human society, and I'm a technology fan, and I'm like a Star Trek. My house is like set up like Starship Enterprise. But, but at the same time, if you cannot make peace with you, no matter the environment or the condition, something is wrong. And because you don't get to escape you live inside your body and your mind all the live long day. And if you are constantly anxious or worrying or insecure or got issues, and you don't address that at some point or the other, it's going to come back and bite you on your backside. Because all them things don't go anywhere. They stay with you, and lockdown forced everyone to like put on the brakes and now have loads of internal mirror moments. And like you said, check your mental health. So I think it was a good time to force a lot of people to maybe start asking some internal spiritual questions about, who am I? What do I really want to be? Am I even happy?
Girl. Yes.
That is true.
Real.
That is true. It makes you look at your life.
Like I learned that actually there's a big difference between what you want and what you need. Like I can want a nice car, I can want a nice house, and I can want, holidays 5 times a year. That's great. I'm not saying to want things is a bad thing. However, what do you need to kind of be calm and happy? For me, so long as the roof over my head is paid for and covered, so long as I've got food in my fridge, and so long as me and my loved ones are healthy and happy, I'm actually really good. And everything else is just extra. Do you know what I mean? And it taught me to learn the difference between the two of what do I need to be happy and what do I want to be happy, and which one is a priority and should be at the top of my list over the other. That's what it caused me to do personally.
Yeah, because a lot of people get that confused.
Oh, yeah. It's very easy to get it
and
confused.
they end up paying for it.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Because what you want tends... Because the thing is, we're always wanting something. As human beings, we're designed to always want something. Like, I want a car. The next, a month later, I want the next model up. I want a guy with this. Next year, I want this type of guy. As human beings, we're designed to always want, which is not a bad thing. It's how we keep going and progressing. However, if you don't take a moment to enjoy the here and now and appreciate what you do have and your healthy body and mind and the roof over your head and your loved ones, you're constantly in the pursuit of something and never taking the time to actually take stock of what you've got right now.
That was really well said.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
No.
Reggie.
Are you recording this?
It's got to be in the next script. You got to co-write with Angelique.
Yeah.
Oh, ours is deep. Ours quite deep. I'm a deep. Still rivers run deep,
I'm like, wow, this is a therapy session.
All right now.
But you know what? Like, mindset for me is I wouldn't say it's a bone of contention, but it's a thing that I take very seriously. And I feel like in the last 5 years, for me personally, I've taken a lot of time to check myself and what it is that I want and make sure I'm good with me, because it's very easy to live conditionally. I need my husband to be this way. I need my job to do this. I want my kids to be like this. And I need me to be like this. And no one's ever going to, nothing we ever have in our mind ever works out that way. Do you know what I mean? As we were saying earlier, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. 90% of life is out of your control. The only thing that you are in control of is you, in terms of how you perceive what you're experiencing and what's around you. and how you perceive yourself in relation to that. So you're either the winner or the loser in the situation. And most people constantly look for problems and issues and can see themselves as losing out. And then that therefore then affects how they interact with other people and how they make their decisions as well.
That's so true. I had to figure that out for myself in the beginning of this because I was like, dag, if I look back at my past and things I've done or things I should have done sooner, and I'm like, if I'd have did this, then I'd be here. And then somewhere in
Yeah.
the middle of COVID, I said, girl, get yourself together. You have to think about what you have, and you are so blessed. Like, even though this did not go the way that I thought it would, I'm just so happy that I still have my home. I still have a car, you know. I'm still able to pay my bills, and I'm a voiceover actress. Like, I've wanted to do this for years, and I finally just did it, and everything just went to hell. So I thought, but it really didn't. So you really have to sit there and think about what you have. I just wake up, and for the longest time in the beginning of COVID, I was just so irritated and bothered and frustrated with myself. And then now I wake up and I just thank God for what I have. And I'm so grateful and I'm so truly, truly blessed. And it's really all about your mindset. Like, you can put yourself in the worst position and you're really not that way. It's just, that's where your mindset is. I had to change the way I view things and I feel great. I might have a couple days, somebody at the grocery store might bump me when I was trying to get that chicken on sale. But for the most part, we good over here.
Did you get that chicken, girl? Say you got that chicken.
Oh, I got that chicken.
All right.
And I got the one next to it.
There we go. Don't mess about. All right.
Okay.
Get caught slipping in these streets trying to get that chicken.
Shoot. Play with me if you want. No. It's better now. I feel a lot less on edge than I used to.
Hey, Simply Straight Talk family. Your host, Reggie, will be right back. So don't you dare touch that dial.
Hey, are you looking for some great music, upbeat and with a positive voice? Well, the song I Stand With You is exactly what you need. This timeless song has a pop version sung by Audrey Carmel. And a reggae version sung by General Steele, now known as Revelation.
Now I know some days you may feel blue, Lord. Trust in your greatness to see you through.
These songs are now available on iTunes and other digital platforms for download. Don't miss out. Get your copy today.
Give life your best, and I know.
We hope you're enjoying the show. As our listeners, this show is made possible because of your support. Make sure you click the subscribe button and leave a comment. Thank you for being a part of the show, and now back to your host, Reggie Maddox.
Today we're going to talk about women and the communication with men and how men are very vocal and open about their emotions, but yet women refuse to express themselves to us.
He did it.
He did. Oh, he's a bad man. Okay, bad boy. What you gonna do? Okay. No, it's funny. Yeah, communication between men and women. Oh, again, Melissa, I'll let you go first. Go.
Oh my gosh. That starts back like even before being in any type of relationship or anything, just with like my dad, just try to have a conversation with him. It was just like, no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to talk about feelings. What would we do that for? You get over it. Whatever your issue is, we're going to get past that. We're never going to talk about it again. And yeah, what do you want for dinner? What? How do you think this is supposed to work? And that's carried on to my brother. And, unfortunately, I think I'm like one of the exceptions to women. I don't like to talk about feelings like that. I just recently have started to, because that's just, what I've adapted from like my dad. Like, we just don't do that. We don't talk about feelings. And now I feel like I'm becoming a woman and I talk about feelings, and I see, he's still that way. And, my brother's that way. I have other male friends. And I'm like, what is your problem? But how do you think that this is going to work out? Because, what you're going to do is I'm going to everything's going to be in one pot, and it's just going to boil, and then I'm going to explode. So you should talk about this now before I snap. You don't want me to do that.
Before crazy lets loose.
Oh my gosh. And it's hard to put that back in the pot. It's really hard to gather that back together.
Yeah. It's funny. I have a similar upbringing myself, Melissa, actually. Do you know what I mean? I was predominantly, for me personally, like, it's not my mum wasn't around, but she wasn't a great role model. So I was more predominantly raised by my dad. And so I'm quite practical. I'm very self-sufficient. I'm very self-reliant. I'm probably more logical and just kind of to the point. I'm very blunt and to the point. And so for me, like you, it's only in the last few years that I've tapped into my feminine kind of part of me. And that bitch is crazy. Excuse my language, but she's... I'm just gonna say
Ain't she something?
Bitches be crazy. I'm just saying, like, just yeah, just like, I love being a woman. However, I was literally having this conversation earlier with a friend, saying how women are like, we are like the sea. One day we could be calm and peaceful and it's lovely. The next day we are the tsunami and we're drowning you, ourselves, and everybody in the process. Do you know what I mean? And the thing I feel with communication is it's a two-way thing. There's that aspect to women where we do, our emotions are like water, we flow, and we have to be careful about not drowning ourselves and the other person when we're communicating. And then there's the men who are like rocks, they're anchors. And also, just as much as we find it hard to talk about our emotions, men do too, because they've been taught that's not what you do. It's a sign of weakness. So you got to keep your shit on lock. Your job is to be the anchor. Your job is to be the rock in the household or in relationships with women. And so that means they're kind of like still traps. And so while we're flowing or washing over them, they're like rooted. And it's like, no, we don't go left or right, this way or that way. And so for me personally talking, I feel like people, whether it's a man or woman, we're not taught to listen as a society. Like, we're taught to just
that is
talk.
So true.
I feel like this, you made me feel like this, and I'm going to emotionally vomit all over you, and now you're going to vomit all over me emotionally, and that's it. Nothing's got resolved, because no one listened to each other. No one's actually listening to themselves and what it is that they're trying to say. That's the other thing. We don't take emotional responsibility for ourselves. You said this, it triggered me, now it's your fault. Well, it's like, well, how about you look at why you were triggered and what was triggered, and then talk from that place and actually speak from a calmer place before you have certain conversations. We're just not taught to do that, though.
That's absolutely correct. That's one of the things that I've learned over this pandemic. Like, I was just, I had a brother and a sister. I was in the middle. My sister, she was my dad's favorite. My brother was my mom's favorite. I was nobody's favorite. So, I trained to be in survival mode all the time, okay? And I'm ready to argue with anybody at any point. So it's like I'm just reacting. I'm not listening to what you said. I never took the time to really absorb any of things that you said out of your mouth. I'm just reacting like, you know what? I already got my argument in my head before I even say anything. So, I try to not be like that anymore. I'm trying to, kumbaya myself. And the person, a kid's dad, he's such a talker. He loves to talk about feelings. And I was like, the men, like, I felt like, you talk about feelings, you got to see my vulnerable side. I don't want you to see that. You can't see my weak side. And he's like, no, you have to talk about feelings because we're not going to get anywhere. So it took me some time to realize that, yeah, you really do have to have these conversations. That should stuff just sit up in there.
That's okay. Join the swear camp with me. Don't leave me alone in the boat. Okay, it's all good. I mean, Reggie, what about you? This we're talking for women. What about you as a man? How does it feel for you?
It's kind of, I would have to say that I don't really express I think when it comes to a man talking to a woman, it can be difficult to really like open up yourself and say how you really feel. Because with a woman, a man is automatically thinking, is she going to see me as weak? Or is she going to see me as being a pushover? Especially if she's somebody that he wants to talk to or he wants to like her. She wants him to like him. He's worried more about what's her perception of him. So he's not going to show that vulnerable side because she wants him to feel like, oh, he's a man, he's strong. But not expressing yourself is not a sign of strength. And I think you guys are right. That's something that a lot of men really feel like. If I cry or if I say I'm hurting, I'm in pain, I'm discouraged, we think that a woman is going to say, oh, man up, be a man.
Right.
And, so
but
we kind of hide
that's
that.
how it is sometimes.
Yeah.
You see that a lot in women. Unfortunately, they have been like, oh my gosh, why is he crying? This little punk, da 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 da. So you see that in society. Like growing up, I know my dad, he was not allowed to cry. He has 2 brothers. You don't do that, okay? That really was a sign of weakness. I think things, they're not like that anymore. I mean, they shouldn't have been like that to begin with, but talking to some men, they're like, I have to be the man. Like you said, you got to be the rock. And they're like, I'm not allowed to cry. Like, they're going to think this, and that about me if I do. And I know a lot of females that are like, I just see this man cry and I'm going to laugh about it. So,
unfortunately.
It's really unfortunate.
It is. I feel like, like I said, as human beings, man or woman, we are not taught to understand what emotions actually really mean. Like, whether it's from the male perspective or female, emotions are considered messy, full stop. Whether it's a man having them or a woman having them. And we're just going to put that in a box and we're just going to hide it. If we're not doing that, we're then labeling people as weak, whether, again, it's a man or a woman expressing themselves too much. If it's a woman, oh, you're so emotional. Oh, you're a mess. If a man's doing it, oh, you're so weak. Oh, ooh, that's not attractive. When actually, emotions are an indicator of where you are at. And how you feel about something and what you're, do you know what I mean? Whether you're happy with something or not. And it is a basic guidance system as a human being for you to go, hold on, I'm not feeling good right now. Let me address that. If we didn't have that, we'd be going around setting fires to stuff and emotionally wrecking things. Do you know what I mean? And just literally destroying every form of relationship we had if we didn't have these sort of indicators to say, I feel good right now, I don't feel good, I feel scared, I feel joyful. If we didn't have those things, we literally would just be, do you know what I mean? Destroying a lot of ourselves. And the killer is most of us are because we don't know how to process it. And as a result, we're like verbally and emotionally vomiting on people. And we're expecting also the other person to suddenly understand you when you don't understand yourself.
Yeah.
Like, do you even understand what you're trying to say right now? Do you even know what you feel right now? But now the other person's meant to be a psychic. Like, unfortunately, women tend to expect men to just get them with the random hints we drop. Like, why is he not understanding I'm upset right now? When point blank the man has asked you, are you okay? And you'll go, women will go, I'm fine. They're not blatantly fine. She's losing her mind at you. But apparently you're meant to read between that and understand. And so we're getting mad at men for not being psychics. Men are getting mad at us because we're not just saying how we feel. But again, if you don't understand why you feel the way you feel and look at what it's rooted in, because how we feel is always rooted in something within ourselves. It ain't got, excuse my language, shit to do with the other person. They've just triggered something that was already there. You need to look at that, address that, and then speak from that perspective and go, you know what, I felt this, you did this, but actually I reacted this way and it made me realize it's connected to X, Y, Z. I really want to talk about that. That's different. That's an open conversation. That's not your fault, fix it.
Right.
But for men, I think it's dangerous for a man to hold, because I've seen men that will, like, even a couple of my friends, they will hold in stuff that's going on, but they won't share it with the woman they're with. And that creates this whole thing of when he finally lets loose, it's anger, there's aggression, because he doesn't know how to control it now. Because he just wants to, like, unleash everything that's in me. And if that woman catches him at the wrong time, he's like a time bomb. Yeah. Because a lot of men don't know how to really just, let me get this off my chest. Some guys have their, like, a conversation with male friends. If you have a good male friend, he has somebody he can bounce that off of. But if he doesn't have a good male friend that he can talk to, men are so bad about building up that bomb in themselves, and then they can't control it when they let loose.
It's interesting though, because women are. The funny thing is, men and women are a lot more alike than we realize, right? So you say that women really aren't that different, babes. We just the problem is like I said, we'll say, oh, we're fine, and then eventually we'll go tsunami all over you. It's no different. The difference is we'll tsunami on our friends. Oh no, he didn't, and then he did this, and then he did this, and then I'm going to tsunami on you, and then you did this. It's no different. Like the difference, the issue is men and women, human beings, we are not taught how to express ourselves, and we are told emotions are a problem. So whether it's men holding on lock or women overtly doing it and not realizing that they're not even paying attention and really just calming themselves down before they connect with what they're feeling, it all has the same effect. Miscommunication, right? Whether it's the time bomb of men or the emotional vomiting of women, it's miscommunication. No one listens, and no one takes responsibility for how they feel either. It's like
especially when you start arguing and yelling. It's like if you start yelling at me, I shut down.
Yeah.
There's no point in even talking.
Yeah. I do this thing in the last few years of whenever I talk to someone, if somebody's done something or I've experienced something, I do my very best to kind of take time to draw back with myself and look at why I'm feeling how I'm feeling, what it triggered and where that rooted in, and then try and look at that within myself first. And then most of the time I try to kind of self-process it, but occasionally I do need to then talk to the other party involved and say, you know what, this happened, blah, 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 and see what they say about it, because everyone's got a story behind why they do what they do. So sometimes people do things in relationships and it's rooted to childhood things 9 times out of 10, and they're not even aware they're doing it until you highlight it. But again, you can either highlight it as in, you did this, it's your fault, or actually you did this. Why? No one answers that question, by the way, why? And really wants to hear the answer either, the flip side. People will go, why? But that's not, they don't actually want to know why. They just want you to say sorry. Do you know what I mean? And say my bad and then sweep it under the carpet. But to actually understand why someone does something and really look at that and really talk about it openly, that's a different conversation now. Solutions can be found there.
Definitely. That's interesting you say that. I just had a conversation with the kid's dad just yesterday about, we started dating years ago when we were young. And I didn't understand him the way that I do now, because now I know his family better. I know different stories about his childhood a little bit better. So I'm able to understand and process things the way I didn't when we were younger. So I'm like, okay, I get it. I got more backstory, because he would tell me why. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But now I'm like, oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. I get it. You don't gotta say no more.
Yeah, I feel like everything we do, conscious or subconsciously, is rooted in something we experienced as a child. And then we either repeat what we witnessed, or we just kind of evolve from what we witnessed, and we just kind of adapt it in our own way. And sometimes, like I said, we react to things or do things and say things, and we don't actually realize that, wow, that's because I saw that as a child, or this constantly happened to me during my teenage years. Now I do this, or I automatically assume this. And like if we actually took the time to look at it, we'd be like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, that ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm just I'm rehearsing that play from 1998 with my dad and my mom, or my brother and my sister. Like, my bad. Do you know what I mean?
Right? That's where I'm at right now. There's just so many situations that I look back on. Like, COVID really had given me the opportunity to just sit there and look at stuff. And I'm like, it had nothing to do with them. This is literally an issue that I had within me from my childhood, or, from 20 years ago. It's like, I didn't even know. And really processing things differently nowadays.
I think it's...
And therapy.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to lie. I started going to therapy.
Nice.
Good. Well done,
2
though.
months ago.
How are you finding it?
I love it. And I have gone to therapy before. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I just, people always talk about postpartum depression. Being depressed while you're pregnant is definitely a thing. And that's what I was going through. And I was just so upset all the time. I was angry. I was crying. I couldn't focus. So I started going to therapy, and she was cool. I was able to calm down a little bit, but I stayed with her for about a year. She wasn't for me. And I found myself a new therapist about 2 months ago. And in just these 2 months, she did more for me than the other woman was great, not to take anything away from her, but it's just not a one size fit all for, therapy. I hear people say, well, I tried therapy and that didn't work. Well, try another one because,
That's a good
they're
point.
not all for everybody.
Because it does depend on the therapist.
Right.
Yeah, you've got to
They
have
don't
a good
all
fit.
work for everybody.
And-
Everybody's got a different personality. Your therapist has a different personality and different techniques. And, she's really had me look into things about me that I didn't realize about me. And I feel really great. I really like her. She's awesome. I like her.
Therapies, I think, like seeking help, whether that's through therapy, life coaches, group therapy, there's all the beautiful thing about now compared to maybe our parents' generation and the generation before is they didn't have access to these things, these outlets to discuss their feelings. And also, it wasn't the dumb thing. And, for anyone of the brown color, and that's just across the world, whether you're, Black, Asian, Indian, whatever, you just don't talk about your emotions. It's kept in the house and you don't discuss it beyond that point. Do you know what I mean? And so it's just culturally what it is worldwide. And so there's that factor into play. And then also just across the world, human-wide, we don't talk about emotions. It's messy, like I said. But the beautiful thing about nowadays is you have access to online therapy, physical therapy that you can go to. And I feel like it's necessary because sometimes it's really hard to unravel your own self. Because there are layers upon layers upon layers. And sometimes you need that guide, that shaman, that, unbiased individual that's not connected to you emotionally that can sometimes pinpoint and have you looked at this? Have you considered this? Because you don't have any emotional attachment to them. But you're right. It's not just a case of one size fits all or one style of therapy fits all either. There's many different ways that you can break down your psyche and evolve that and heal it. And I think so long as you're doing something that heals that and makes you look at yourself, my sister, I salute you. Because it's a road less endeavored that most people don't take seriously.
That's true. Because you have to be willing to look at yourself. Most people don't want to face their own problems.
Oh, no,
or,
no.
Or if they do go to a therapist, they do not tell the truth or they only tell a portion of what's going on. But they want a miracle
makes you
fix.
look good.
Yeah. And that's the thing. No one wants to look at themselves because it takes work. And I've already got a job. I've got kids. I've got a cat. Do you know what I mean? Now you're telling me I've got to work on myself too? No. This is some bull. I haven't got time for it. Do you know what I mean? No. We just got to put that to bed. But it's true. Unfortunately, that mirror work, that inner mirror work, hey, sometimes it's not pretty. When you look at yourself and you have them Denzel moments of, is that you? Oh, that's you. Oh, that's you. Oh, no. Do you know, it's not. Because, sometimes there's ugly moments. I mean, there's beautiful parts of yourself, but there's also ugly parts of your inner nature. Do you know what I mean? That you go, oh, I did that. Oh, that had nothing to do with no one. I did that. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Looking at, but it's the most, I think what people misunderstand about talking about emotions or therapy is that to work on yourself is the biggest gift that you can give yourself because you are taking responsibility for your happiness and your emotions. That means now you have the power. You've got the power to change and your whole self and therefore your whole life. And a lot of people feel very powerless in their own life, not realizing that you have the very thing you need. You are the key to yourself. And therefore you can do whatever you want and change. It's not easy, don't get me wrong, but change is possible. It's in your own hands.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Fully. Yeah.
It is.
The way you sounded, Melissa, talking about, your recent therapist and even the one before you realized she wasn't a fit, you sounded empowered. Do you know what I mean? You sounded hopeful.
I feel empowered.
Hey, girl. All right now.
Right. And I just want to tell people yeah, I'm in therapy and it feels great because, with my other therapist, I'd be like, yeah, I'm in therapy.
Whispered it, coughed it, therapy.
But now I'm like, yo, let me tell y'all about my therapist. Let me tell y'all what she got me doing.
Yeah.
She is the truth. I like her. And I tell people, go see her over there on the corner. She know what she talking about. Yeah,
She'll hook us up. She'll give you a
feels-
discount and everything.
I know she needs to help me out. Like, I'm helping her out big time. So, yeah, I just feel so much better about me. And I feel like I can handle problems a little bit better. Like, it's really great. She's got some good techniques going on there that I never even would have thought of. And I'm sitting there with her for about 5 minutes. And I tell her the story. I give her both sides. And just like, bam, she's like, well, did you look at it like this? And I'm like, no. How did you do that?
Listen, sometimes you need that.
amazing.
Sometimes it's easier to talk to someone who does not know you or is not connected to you. And it's easier sometimes. Like, sometimes it's harder, but sometimes it's easier because there's no emotional attachment. Do you know what I mean? They know nothing about you, so therefore you can almost present you as who you are, and there's no judgment.
Right.
It's, a therapist creates safe space, but there's a lot of stigma. Again, just like there's stigma attached to, oh, emotions are messy, there's stigma attached to, oh, you're a therapist, oh, loser, oh, crazy. Do you know what I mean? All these other kind of words battered around.
Yeah. And that's what most people think. If you mention that you're seeing a therapist, people think, oh, you got an addiction or you're crazy. And no, it's like sometimes you need that emotional help. And that's all it is. Mm-hmm. Actually, everybody pretty much needs it.
I was just about to say that, Reggie. I was like, we all need help.
Yeah.
No. You ain't never lied.
We do.
No man or woman is an island. And if you think you can get through this thing called life without some level of support, you're fooling yourself straight up. I don't know what, do you know what I mean? What you're selling yourself, but it's not possible. We all need support at some point. And there's nothing weak or bad about getting help, whether that is from your friend, a therapist, a priest, a reverend, whatever your thing is, yoga. Just listen, find yourself, because at every stage of you, it's that saying of to whom much is given, much is required. And life is a lot, and it requires you to be a lot. And sometimes you need the tools to handle life, or sometimes you need the support or the guidance or words of wisdom from somebody. Because it's a lot.
That's the second quote, Angelique, that you said that my mom says almost daily. My mom.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but it's me and your mom talking on a regular basis. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No.
Oh, she's gonna listen to this. Oh, wow.
No, but it's true though. And that's the thing. A lot of those cliche quotes and all those things that we all repost on Instagram, they're very, very, very true. And what people always seem to forget is none of us are going to make it out of this thing called life alive. None of us. You know what I mean? Plot twist, spoiler alert, we're all, at some point, the end is coming for us all. So whilst you're here and whatever time you are given, why would you not want to find ways to be empowered and feel good? Like, that's just the basis of what we're here for, is you want to be happy. Everyone has that right and deserves that. And so sometimes that means taking responsibility for yourself and seeking out the help to do that.
And that's the key to it. That is that simple, but people don't want to accept that.
Yeah.
But it really is that simple.
But again, we're not taught it because we're taught to seek validation in other people. So from when you're young, you're graded in school. You're measured. Your parents are checking your grades, they're comparing you to other children, and then you're trying to fit in with school, and then you're fitting in with work, then you're fitting in with your college roommates, and blah, 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 blah. So you're always taught to seek who you are outside of you. And then as a result, most people don't know how to even just be okay with themselves and soothe themselves and just check themselves, because we play the comparison game, and comparison is the thief of all joy.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know about you, but no one very rarely compares themselves to make themselves feel better. You don't ever go, look at that person, I'm so much better than that person. You don't do that. Most people go, oh my God, that person's so much further ahead in life than me, and oh, that person's taller than me, prettier than me, faster than me. We don't ever do it from the kind of making yourself better. We do it to put ourselves down. And so how would I know how to kind of be okay with me and love me when I'm too busy comparing myself outwardly to someone else?
Mm-hmm.
And we do that a lot. I mean, you see it on social media, people seeing stuff that other people post, and all of a sudden they want to, try to emulate that image.
Yeah.
You know, oh, they got a big house or they got a big car, not knowing half that stuff is fake. But
Oh my God, yeah.
you know,
Listen.
but yeah, people put themselves down all the time. They kill their own self-esteem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You know, and it's like I said, comparison's the thief of joy for many reasons. One, like you said, with social media, you don't know what you're seeing, how much is that is real. You know, you might see someone post a picture of a fast car. That might just be a car parked on the road that they decided to snap themselves next to and made out like it's their car. Or even if it is, regardless, it's kind of irrelevant because one, you're not them, and two, you're not living their life. And three, you did not know what they did to get where they are. So
That's right.
Do you see what I mean? Like whether they took the fast track or the hard track, it's kind of irrelevant. You're not walking their shoes. There's a reason why people tell you to stay in your lane. Because it's your lane.
Absolutely.
You can't be in no one else's lane and walk in no one else's lanes. It's kind of irrelevant if someone has a fast car or not, or a big house or not. What are you doing? What do you need to be? And also, what you need to be happy is different to what someone else needs to be happy. So it's kind of irrelevant.
Exactly.
Talk about it.
It's kind of irrelevant.
Exactly.
Me comparing myself to you because you ain't me anyway. So, you know.
But it's just, it kind of bothers me sometimes when I hear, or even I see men or women that they can't even find anything good about their life. It's when they're talking about their life, all they're talking about is somebody else. You know, I hear people say all the time, oh, I want to get this job. I want to start this business. This person did it. That person did it. Okay, but what does that have to do with you? Just do it.
That
Stop.
for my life.
Yeah. You know, stop saying what other people are doing and just do what you need to do. Focus on you. I mean, half these people you seeing, they probably can't even afford what they got. You don't know what struggles they're having.
Yes, internal struggles, family. Like, you really have no idea. I catch myself slipping every once in a while.
Yeah.
I am on a natural lock journey, and I just started around the same time one of my friends did. And I'm so happy for her hair. And I caught myself one day, and I was like, well, how come her hair got longer than mine? And I said, oh, girl, stop it, because your hair is great. It is. And I ended up seeing her in the store about a week ago. And I just was thinking about her again, how happy I was for her. You know, she started a business and everything. And we ended up talking about all the other issues that she has going on in her life. And I was like, dang, I didn't even sit there and think oh my gosh, I wish my hair was like hers. But then she's got all these other issues going on. You never know. Somebody wants to be like this person so bad, but they probably want to have what you got. Just worry about your own self. Facebook, Instagram, all them social medias, it'll get you wrapped up in some other stuff. And you really will, like you said, Reggie, your self-esteem will be going down, down, down.
Listen, that's why I said stay in your lane, because you look too far left, you look too right, and you'll be swerving in someone else's lane and you're crashing. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
This is why your eye has to stay on your lane. It's funny how literally as you're driving, you don't keep looking to the left and right, otherwise you would kill yourself. Do you know what I mean? And the other people. But yet in life, we are constantly looking at what someone else has in comparison to you and how they're doing in comparison to you. And like I said, it's irrelevant. What they need to be happy is not the same as you, and where they're at is not the same as you. And also, everyone progresses. And my friend told me this, a very good friend said, everyone is progressing at different levels on different subjects. So whilst you might have ease with communication or finding jobs or relationships, someone else may excel in other areas. So it is really, again, pointless comparing yourself to someone else. There's so many factors at play that affect how someone is who they is and how they progress. So again, like I said, comparison is irrelevant, but we all do it. Listen, I'm with you. I'm on a natural hair journey. I'm 35, and it's only now that I'm actually dealing with my hair in its natural state as God intended it to grow out of my head. I have been perming and processing my hair since I was in my early teens, doing all sorts to it, and only now am I just leaving it be. And I literally have no idea how to look after my own hair.
It's hard, isn't it? It's so much work.
Do I put water or do I put oil? And that person seems to have so much better, nicer hair than me. And why do their curls look like this when they use that product and mine doesn't do that? And oh my God, what is happening? Yeah, it's a lot. So I try to make sure that I just look at myself in the mirror daily, read my affirmations. And sometimes I'm lapping those affirmations up. I'm like, yeah, I'm beautiful, I'm powerful. And other days I'm like, yeah, I'm beautiful, I'm powerful. But I say it regardless because it's important. Because I have to be okay with me. Because I've got to wake up in this mind and body and spirit. And I've got to love it. There's no givesy backsies. There's no exchanges on this body, this life. This is it. You know what I mean? For this journey. So you better love what you're given because you don't get to change it. Do you know what I mean? Plastic surgery and all that stuff aside.
That is true.
You've got to love you. You've got to love your mind. And you've got to learn to love all of you as well. And that means the dark as well as the light. But and I say that because you can't appreciate the light without a bit of darkness. Do you know what I mean?
That is so
you need
true.
both. There's duality in life. And so there's neither all bad or all good. It just is. We just are as human beings. And you must learn to love all of your colours because that's what makes up the beautiful picture of you. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Gotta learn to love you.
Oh.
You need easy.
I love it.
You do. Loving yourself is key. Most people love their dogs, their cars, their house more than they love other people more than they love themselves.
Yeah.
You know.
Again, it's not something we're taught. And again, if your parents don't know, they're not going to teach you. And so I feel like the really beautiful thing is this generation upwards is breaking the cycle in some ways.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
You are so right.
By you seeking therapy, and so your children will now realize it's a good thing to ask for help. It's good to work on yourself. There's nothing to be ashamed about it. So your children's generation and the ones after will be okay with asking for help and expressing themselves and discussing their emotions. You breaking chains, girl. Out here breaking chains.
Shoot. I've seen how I am and how I'm negatively affected by, things that my parents did. And it's not their fault because that's just how they were taught. And, I talk to my grandma sometimes and the way that she does things, I'm like, oh, my mom didn't have a chance. Oh, God.
Yeah. It's true.
So, yeah, it's great. For my son, he knows that I'm in therapy. He has gone, but unfortunately, due to COVID, they weren't seeing him in person, and trying to keep a 7-year-old at a computer and tell him he got to talk about his feelings and not his toys was really hard. So,
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
I mean, you can only ask so much of him. He's 7. Do you know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah. He's like, look at this in my room and look at that. You see my TV on the wall?
Oh, bless them.
She's like, honey, we're not here to talk about this. I'm like, girl, it's 30 minutes in. It's a wrap. You're not getting anything else out of him.
Out here with an attention span of a goldfish. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Just like, what we talking about? No. Look at my new action toy. It's just like, yeah, no. That's a little bit better.
Right.
You can't blame him for that now.
No, bless him.
At all.
I know, but at least he knows now, and it'll become the norm for him to talk about emotion. Do you know what I mean? So that's a beautiful thing that you're creating right there.
Right.
And
We got to. We did not grow up like this. So it was just, I can't let him go through all the madness that in my head that I go through. So, we just, me and his dad, we just, how you doing? What's going on? Let's talk about this. There's no need to get all crazied up. Let's just sit down and figure this out as a family. What's up? So I like that that's a thing now because I can't even imagine trying to do that with my parents. I mean, maybe my mom, but not the both of them. We never would have done anything like that. It just wasn't a thing.
I think every generation just has to take the best and the good bits from the previous generation, and then we just evolve.
Definitely.
An iPhone update. You know what I mean? Now we're on version 14.2. It's like,
right.
just update. Take the goods, leave the not so good behind, and then evolve on top of that. And the one thing I think I learned as an adult was that, dang, my parents are just regular people like me trying to figure this crazy thing called life out. There's no manual for this thing called life, and there's definitely no manual for being a parent. All parents are just winging it. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
Every day.
Every day they're winging it, and God bless them. Like, they do the best that they can with the knowledge that they have and what you know at the time. You don't know what you don't know. So I think having that perspective on life and human beings as a whole allows me to have a much kind of more understanding connection with my father. Because for many years I was like, what is wrong with you? Do you know what I mean? But then you come to realize, oh, you're just like me. You just out here still figuring stuff out. And you were trying to be a parent on top of that. You know what? I salute you. Okay, all right. It's a miracle I'm still alive and you haven't killed me. Okay, all right.
Right? Oh gosh, I go back now and I look at different things that my parents did, especially my mom. I'm like, how did you not knock me into last Tuesday? Or how did you get through this and not completely break down? Like, I'm just,
Oh, she probably did knock you into last Tuesday, darling. And you just have concussion. That's why you don't remember. We were all knocked into last Tuesday by our parents, but we have no recollection because they did it that hard.
Oh my gosh, yes. But it's nice to talk to her now, and she's like, I did have those breakdowns. You just didn't see them, but, you know, I did it. But I did what I could. And I'm like, wow, I just have a new appreciation, like, just every day. I'm like, wow. And even with my dad, he's trying, I can see. The most recent weeks that I've spoken to him, he wants to talk more. He's like straight to the point. What do you need? You need some money? Do you need this? Okay, bye. I'll see you when I see you. You know, we see each other frequently, but on the phone, it's just not a thing. So now he's like lingering on the phone almost, like he won't hang up. And I'm like, are we hanging up? He's like, no, I'm not. You got something to talk about? No? Maybe? Is this a trick question?
Am I being tested?
I don't know. Oh my gosh, it's the strangest things. And then you see with my son or, you know, the other grandkids he has, what he didn't do with us, you see him trying to do that with them. So like he's trying to, you know, correct what he did wrong or, you know, make up for it. It's so cute. I just love it. I'm like, oh wow, look at that. We still don't talk about feelings, but I see that he's
baby steps, Melissa. Baby steps, okay?
There you go.
We're going somewhere. So.
Maybe by 2030, he'll be talking about his emotions.
That would be wonderful. I might be scared, though. I'm not even going to lie.
No, exactly.
I wouldn't know what to do with it.
I mean, you better make sure you're ready about, out here waiting for his emotions. Are you ready for his emotions? You're like, don't talk about your emotions. Wait, no, stop. Don't talk about your emotions anymore. I'm not ready for this.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm terrified.
Listen, you know, like, yeah, I give my dad a lot more, like, birth and understanding and room now of, oh, you just out here figuring it out. Okay, I get you, pups. Fair enough now. And also, listen, you say what you will about that previous generation, as crazy, they're crazy as they were super trooper soldiers. They knew how to, we just keep it moving. They like that Tina Turner song, rolling like a river. They knew how to keep it going, and they dust themselves up and pick themselves up again. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like they had durability, like Duracell battery. They made them differently in that generation. Now we're like, oh, my feelings. Oh no, I'm hurt. No, I can't cope now. We're a different generation, so it's like fine. Like I said, take some of that durability, some of that comeback kid nature, as well as talking about emotions, because I feel like in this generation we're super sensitive, and it's like you know
we are.
Yeah, it's like calm down, people. Really it's not that deep.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like stop it. No.
I get so like some of the voice actresses that I know that I like, or some of the actors, they're like, okay, this person isn't, you know, going to be that person anymore. They're recast because of something they said on Twitter 20 years ago. I'm like, oh damn, really? Like. God,
yeah, we're overly sensitive.
To be that way. We are so sensitive. Everything. No jokes can be said the way they used to be anymore.
No.
Oh
I was literally last night watching Eddie Murphy's Raw, and I was laughing, but I was thinking, yo, he would have been shunned out of Hollywood if he said half of the jokes. Actually, all of the jokes. Like,
yes,
exactly.
You know, like he couldn't
say shit.
Like he was fussing, you know what I mean? Homosexual jokes, you know, certain black and white jokes, sexual jokes, and it's like, oh, I'm laughing now, but I'm like, because I'm in my own home, away from other people. But like, you can openly play or recite some of those jokes now. Like it's you know. So I feel like we need to find a bit more of a better balance in this generation. We've gone one extreme to the next. It's like, okay, we're not going to be like our parents. So we're going to be overly sensitive. It's like, no, can we bring it back to the middle? Bit of balance, people.
Definitely an extreme.
Yeah, because you can't say anything. I mean, you have to be so careful about everything you say and do now.
Absolutely.
If one person takes it wrong, then all of a sudden it's this big to do. You got to be careful about how you even mentioning the transsexual community. I better get that right because I got in trouble for that one time.
See, you don't know what to
I had
say
to pull an
sometimes.
episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
And this is
gosh.
the thing. Oh yeah.
It's like walking on eggshells sometimes.
Yeah,
You do.
it's hard because, like I said, I feel like we're overly sensitive. I think it's good that we care. I think we should care and not brush things under the carpet and maybe consider other people's perspectives. Yes, I agree. But then where do we draw the line? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like now everything needs to be considered, and that's not normal. And I don't even really like to use the word normal because what the hell is normal? That's relative. Do you know what I mean? Normal's all relative depending on where you're at and who you're around. Let's be real. But it's not. That's too much work to be living under. That's a lot of pressure for anybody and everybody to be operating under. And we're all fallible. We're all going to mess up. We're all going to put our foot in our mouth. We're all going to dig our own graves occasionally and say the wrong thing. But to take it so personal, like it's a personal physical attack on you, it's like it's not. It's really not that. How about? And again, it goes back to communication. How about you actually just talk and listen to the other person and listen to maybe why they said that and what's triggered that or what's the story behind why they believe that. And maybe we would actually have some sort of solution. But now we're just, oh, you said that? Shame. Shun them from society. No.
Right.
Put them on an island.
This is cancel season.
Like,
they're canceled.
yeah, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's calm down, people. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got out like their village, you know what I mean, pitchforks, looking to burn people at the stake. It's like, what's happening, people? Have we done a full circle? We're now just witch burning everybody. Is that what's happening now?
It's so over the slightest thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. And then when they go back in people's past, and I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? Why can't Kevin Hart host whatever the heck show it was because of something he said 10 years ago? Come on now.
Yeah.
It's a madness.
You can dig something up on all of us. Everybody has said something stupid or done something. Come on now.
We're all human beings. And that's the thing. It's like, you know what I mean? To forgive is... To err is to human. I can't remember. I'm getting the whole saying wrong, but basically, we're human beings. Forgive, and it's like we're all throwing rocks while we all live in glass houses. I don't understand.
Yeah.
There's lots of like kettles calling the pot black and all that stuff. It's like, but hey, none of us are perfect. We've all hurt somebody. We've all kind of accidentally done something unintentionally, and sometimes intentionally.
Right.
But we're human. It's not that deep. People, seriously.
No.
It should not be. It's a bit much. A bit much.
Just a bit. But this has been good. This has been a lot of open dialogue here. We've just shown that men and women can talk, Reggie. Aren't you proud? You know? No one got cancelled.
Not yet.
Not
this
yet.
hasn't aired. We don't know.
Suddenly, no more listeners. Oh, no. You should put like a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode. You know what I mean? The personal opinions expressed in this show have no effect on you or what we think of you. Do you know what I mean? Listeners, please.
Right.
You know that's actually on the website.
You need to do that, though. You have to. And that's a shame, but you actually do. Like, this is just personal opinions, not fact. Please don't sue me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No problem.
You know what I mean? I got bills to pay. I don't have spare money for no case.
It'll be somebody. Reggie attacked the women. He said women don't have a voice.
Oh, it's all right. It's okay.
Next.
Cancelled. Unsubscribed.
Right.
Listen, not every... And the thing is, the one thing that my dad taught me is a grateful lesson my dad taught me is that not everybody is going to like or understand you. So get it out of your head that you need to be friends with everybody you meet or you come into interaction with. There are over 7 billion people on this planet. I'm telling you for free, guys, I don't want 7 billion friends. I don't have the time or the energy to like connect and maintain that level of relationship. So I'm good with some people not liking me, not in the sense of middle finger to everybody, but in the sense of I only focus on those who do like me, and that's enough. That's good. And I send love and light to the rest of the world.
how you gotta be. I have always been that person. Like, I don't care if I got one friend.
Yes,
That's enough.
that
They
is.
like me genuinely. I'm good.
Like I don't need everybody to like me or understand me, and I won't understand or like everybody. So I'm good with that. And like I said, I send love and light to everybody I interact with, and even those that I don't, and even those that don't like me. I want everyone to be happy and peaceful and well. But you don't need to like me. I'm good with that. It's cool.
Yeah, because it's draining. It's just too much. You just drain your energy. And, like, no, I can't deal with all
There's
that.
only so many hours in the day, and I've got to sleep for 8 of them. I'm sorry. And those 8 are mine. I'm not sharing them. So, I'm just going to have to deal with the little piece of friends that I do have, and that's enough. This has been good. I've had fun. Thank you for having us.
Oh, my God. Well,
Definitely.
thank you for coming, both of you. I'm sure the comments are going to blow up.
Whoop, whoop. Call the police.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to blow up about this.
Oh, that's good. I'm interested to see. I hope the listeners enjoy. I hope some people got something from this. Do you know what I mean? Hope some people were entertained and it helped pass time while washing dishes or driving that car in traffic. I don't know.
All right, yeah. This was great. I really enjoyed this. I've been on a few podcasts over the past few weeks, but this was definitely the favorite that I've done. I like it.
Hashtag she's just saying that.
I'm going to put that in there, too. Oh, boy.
Thank you,
That is
Reggie.
dope. Seriously,
Angelique.
thank you, guys. Yeah.
Let me say again, Angelique, I know I said it in a message before. I just love hearing you talk. Your voice is just wonderful. I'm like, wow, I think I should be saying something as a response right now, but I'm just like, wow, listen to her talk.
Listen, I will take the compliments, honey. Keep it coming. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'll take it on a Tuesday.
Let
me close this out real quick. Hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in today. We appreciate you guys listening to the show. You guys all wanted Angelique and Melissa. You got them. Of course, as always, they bring the comedy. They make it fun. I'm so thankful to be working with them and so grateful that they agreed to be a part of this. As you know, you two are always welcome back anytime. No invitation needed. But I love you and I appreciate you. You guys are absolutely the best.
Thanks for having us. Deuces,
no
guys.
problem. See y'all.